You think that your lack of reach on social media is a strategy problem? What if I told you it is a hardwired safety mechanism? That your subconscious is actually sabotaging your growth and plateauing your business. And that it's all because being seen is one of the biggest things that is hard for creatives to do. And that subconsciously it is sabotaging your own growth because your subconscious mind views it as a actual threat. And that no matter what we do as creatives, as soon as you get around this thought that on the other side of that is everything you've desired for your content and more. But until then, your brand will remain invisible until you allow it to. And this video started off intense, but I'm going to be this person to talk about it because I am the person who has literally thought about becoming a content creator now for the past few years. I've wanted to become a content creator for the past 10 years now or plus. And every time that I do it, every time I get it to post, there's that one thing. It feels like something is still stepping in the way. And if this sounds like you, please keep watching because this fear of being seen has kept so many people back from becoming and living up to their fullest and highest expectations of what they wanted to do for such a long time. And I feel like that's so wrong, but it is something that is super common, which is the fear of being seen. And I've made videos about this in the past about the perfectionism trap, about how our brains are hardwired to it, but I've never really made a video about the nervous system and what your body is actually thinking and how to get away from the fear of being seen. And this is coming from someone who has done a lot of the inner work. And I'm always going to encourage inner work, especially as a creative and as a person who is going after their passions. That's probably the most majority of people who watch my videos. And the truth is that posting it on social media today is kind of a trap. And let me explain, from everything from super hyper polished social media feeds to posting a million times a day, but posting a million times a day, having so many things that you're juggling leads to one thing: that video that you actually spent an hour or 2 hours editing, then posted and got zero likes, how all of these things are actually part of this block. And the truth is, I see a lot of content creators, especially people who are new to content creation, including myself, who spend hours and hours editing, contemplating, overthinking, and then finally posting. And then the post does what it does: it flops, or it doesn't get as many views, or it gets the views, but then you don't post for a while afterwards. All of these things are part of the process. But what if it could get easier? And let's do a deep dive into what is the difference between having a super polished social media feed to actually diluting your own uniqueness and your own brand voice that really could have drew in the exact audience that was ready for your content. And the truth is, there is a hidden thing here that I have always been talking about. And that hidden thing is potential. It's the potential of what could happen if I post this content, or what could happen if so and so sees this content on my page. That is one of the biggest things that keeps people from posting. That's one of the biggest things that keeps people from starting their own businesses. What is everybody else going to actually think? And I've been there, and I think that we've all been there, but it is so common, especially in today's world, of being afraid to step out of a box that you don't even want to express that you've actually been in. And why do we feel that need to stay hidden? Because humans, as we are biologically set, we want to fit in. We want to not necessarily stick out. And our brains are actually seeing posting on social media, creating in the public as being, that equates that sort of being seen to being vulnerable, and being visible to being exposed. And let me tell you the biggest differences between the two and why our brain processes being seen as being exposed, or all of those things. Biologically, we want to be safe, we want to fit into the crowd, and people who are outside of that crowd, your brain naturally is going to see that as a potential predator or potential danger. But we live in a world now that there is minimal dangers to an actual predator coming to eat you or you needing to run through that, but hardwired, your nervous system detects it as being the same as hardwired, and your brain detects posting on social media similarly to being seen, judged, or overly exposed. And now I'm not saying that the dangers of posting on social media are not there, because they absolutely are there, but understanding that hey, you can post, you can choose what to share on social media, and being able to grow your business, growing your socials in a way that actually feels beneficial to you, and sort of weighing out the odds of this chamber of actual danger versus the overall opportunity or potential for growth, for change in your life. You can honestly change your entire life on social media nowadays. So many people have done this, and without even getting into the whole virality of public discourse of people being upset with you for something possibly going viral, these chances of that are really low. And the truth is, the only way around that is by working with yourself instead of fighting against what it is that your body is already trying to protect yourself from. Of not necessarily fighting to not post or to be for anything to change outside of yourself, but to understanding that, hey, this actual how I'm feeling is correct. And having your body to understand and to come back to itself and realize that, hey, me posting on social media, why do I feel like this? What is the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? Weighing those odds for yourself and understanding as a creative, that is one of the biggest tickets that you have, especially as someone who wants to start something with minimal startup costs. Maybe you don't have the money to invest 10,000, 20,000, or 100,000 into a business, into your social medias right now. But being able to, as a smartphone, to be okay with failing, to be okay with videos flopping, not doing good, and to taking that what you learned and the tests from that and continuing the process and persisting throughout that trial period of figuring out what it is. Because the truth is, sometimes when you start a project, you start a business, you start social media, it may not even be exactly what you will wind up doing down the road. And that comes with a lot of things that may not start exactly or end exactly as you expected them to. And so, with that, what is the solution to feeling unexposed is that understanding the nervous system, doing the inner work of journaling, of actually doing the thing that scares you and that makes you feel exposed in a way that is safe for you, and understanding that your body is actually safe to post, to engage, to do all of these things while also maintaining that sense of privacy. And I think that's the main thing of understanding that, hey, just because you post on social media, you can choose what you post, you can choose what exactly that you share. And choosing also who it is that you're talking to as an audience is super important for that as a whole as well. Of course, posting on certain websites are going to have different reactions. And just understanding that your own personal nervous system should not hold you back from this time, and in giving yourself grace also for the times that maybe you didn't post or didn't want to partake in this whole thing of the internet right now. But the main thing that I really wanted to convey in this video is that, hey, your nervous system is actually responding pretty normally to normal situations, and that this digital age of how we do things is a lot similar to being how our ancestors used to be, of having to survive. But social media is a way and a means of survival for some, especially with the fact that the ability to make e-money and printing is a lot more enticing and a lot more lucrative than the outcome or the cons could ever be. And that I encourage all of you guys who are watching this that are on their own collective paths, whether it is you want to do faceless content, whether it is you don't even want to put your face on YouTube or on social media, you're totally understood. And that is so valid right now. But for those of you guys that want to make content, do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable, safe, and keep going. And don't really ever stop that. Don't ever stop persisting towards your goals and what it is that you want to do, especially for if it's really good, if everybody who watches your videos. So necessary right now. And to all my creatives out there, keep creating. And let me guys know what you thought of this video. Have you felt any of these things while creating and posting or being a creative online? Definitely post it. Definitely comment down below your experiences. I love to hear from you guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.